Do you ever walk into a room and instantly feel something's off? Before anyone says a word, you already know. You notice the tone, the micro shift in someone's face, the smile that doesn't reach their eyes. People call it intuition. Psychology calls it something else. Because if you're the one who sees everything, you're probably the one who never fully relaxes. And today, I'll show you why that awareness is quietly exhausting you and how to stop paying that price. Let's start with the first danger: cognitive overload. Your brain is not just thinking, it's scanning tone, micro-expressions, contradictions, unspoken intentions. And the problem isn't that you notice. The problem is that you notice, all at once. Example, someone says, "I'm fine," but you catch the delay, the forced smile, the tension in their jaw, and your brain doesn't just register it. It starts building a case. Did I do something? Are they upset? Is this about me? Should I fix it? Should I say something? Should I leave? 10 minutes later, you're drained, even though nothing happened. That's not weakness. That's mental overprocessing. You're not tired because life is heavy. You're tired because your brain refuses to shut off. That's the hidden cost of seeing too much. The second danger is quieter and heavier. Isolation. When you see deeper patterns, connection gets harder. You're with friends, everyone's laughing, but you can tell one person isn't really happy. They're performing. You feel the tension underneath the jokes, the vibe beneath the vibe. So, while everyone else feels connected, you feel separate. And here's the uncomfortable truth. People don't reject you for being wrong. They reject you for making things uncomfortable. Because when you point at what's real, you disrupt the illusion. That keeps the group comfortable, and that can make you feel completely alone in a crowded room. Here's the third danger. Clarity has a social cost. Humans are social first, logical second. Groups survive by shared beliefs, even when those beliefs are wrong. Psychology calls this cognitive dissonance, the discomfort we feel when truth threatens what we believe. Example: you notice someone subtly manipulating a group chat. You point it out calmly, and suddenly you're labeled negative. Not because you're wrong, but because you disrupted comfort. Most people don't choose truth. They choose peace. And if you insist on clarity, sometimes you pay with belonging. Now here's where awareness turns dangerous. Hypervigilance. Seeing isn't the problem. Never turning it off is. When your mind is always analyzing, your nervous system believes you're under threat. You replay conversations. You anticipate betrayal. You read meaning into silence. Example: someone replies with one word, K, and your brain instantly creates 10 stories. Anger, distance, rejection, punishment. Your mood drops, not because of reality, but because of interpretation. At that point, it's not intelligence anymore. It's anxiety, wearing a smart disguise. Here's the shift most people miss. Psychology doesn't say you should stop being aware. It says you should stop carrying every insight, everywhere. So let's make this practical. Instead of asking, "What's wrong here?" ask, "Is this useful right now?" And then add one more question, one that changes everything. Do I have control over it right now? This becomes a simple framework. 2 steps: useful or noise, control or not mine. If it's useful and you have control, you act. If it's not useful or it's not yours to control, you release. This is strategic ignorance, not denial, not avoidance, choice. Example: you notice insecurity behind someone's arrogance. Old pattern. You analyze for hours. You replay the conversation. You try to understand their childhood. You try to predict their next move. New pattern. You label it once. That's their fear. Then you decide. Is it useful right now? No. Do I control it? No. So you don't feed it. Here's a quick tool you can use in real time. When you feel your mind spinning, pick one sentence. Quiet. Noted and released. Or, Interesting, not urgent. Or, that's information, not a mission. Because not every insight deserves your energy, and not every signal deserves a response. Awareness without peace isn't wisdom, it's suffering. The real skill isn't seeing more, it's knowing when to stop looking. Highly perceptive people don't need sharper minds, they need stronger boundaries. And boundaries don't have to be dramatic. They can be small, clean, and consistent. Here are a few that actually work. If a conversation turns weird, you don't explain your way out. You use a simple line. Steady. I'm not available for this right now. Or, let's revisit this when it's clearer. Or, I'm going to step away. And if you're the type who absorbs other people's emotions, use a boundary with yourself. I can care without caring. Now, a mini example. Someone sends a message that feels cold. Your brain wants to build 10 stories. Instead, you wait, you don't chase, you don't interpret. You choose one action that protects your nervous system. You go for a walk, you drink water, you do something physical, because your body needs proof that you're safe. Sometimes peace comes from depth. Other times, it comes from disengagement. And that choice is what turns awareness into strength instead of burnout. If you're someone who sees too much, you're not broken. Your mind notices what others miss. But even the sharpest mind needs rest. You don't need to understand everything to live fully. Sometimes the healthiest move is letting go sooner. If this resonated, send it to someone who overthinks everything. They might be carrying more than they show. And if you want more psychology-backed tools like this to think clearly without burning out, hit subscribe. Your mind deserves clarity and peace.